We're watching for the lights. And watch Matto Homola on the left of your screen. The lights go out, we're racing, and Homola seemed to bog down. Already Colciago is up right behind him alongside Venet. They touch. Oh no, it's James Nash who is touched by. Oh, that is an absolute disaster for two of the three Lukoil Craft Bamboo cars. As it is for, I think it's Altoe that's in the wall on the right of your screen. And immediately a red flag. And so Homola made a decent start after appearing to bog down. It is indeed Giacomo Altoe that's in the wall. And the look of disbelief on the faces of the Lukoil Craft Bamboo team. Indeed, Luca Engstler, we were talking about a moment or so ago, he pulls up. That's the entry to turn 1. An unbelievable start. Pepe Oriola, 23 years old today, and that is not how he wanted to be celebrating his birthday. Look at the front left. That car is going no further other than under tow. And it's Dan Lloyd who made it through unscathed. So of the three Lukoil Craft Bamboo cars, James Nash and Pepe Oriola caught up in that tangle at the start. Let's look at it again. Now, just behind Venet, it's Nash who weaves across. He sandwiches Venet and Colciago, and really, there was nowhere for them to go. And as the cars barrel down towards turn 1, really, they have little option of avoiding that carnage. So Venet is really the innocent party in all of that. He's squeezed from one side by Colciago, from the other side by James Nash. Pepe Oriola gets into the mix as well. Tashi picks his way through, but Colciago pulls over there on the left of your screen. Altoe caught up as well. Indy makes it through. Fitzer makes it through. And Luca Engstler pulls up. And that reaction says it all from the team management. So the two drivers that Lukoil Craft Bamboo had in the fight for the driver's title are out. Pepe comes back in. There's his father. Team manager Andrew Chisholm is there as well. And, well, you can sense the frustration, as you can from Luca Engstler. A DNF in the first race because of overheating, and his second race ended after 100 meters or so. You see Rob Huff there looking at the damage on Stian Paulsen's car, which was also caught up in it all. And so Huff, starting from 7th on the grid, Paulsen from 12th, as the medical teams come out as well to check everybody over. Now, I think this is going to take some clearing. The cars, because they hadn't completed a complete lap, excuse me, the cars haven't completed a complete lap of the track, so they go back to their grid positions as Luca Engstler jogs back into the pits. Now, what's happening with Colciago, I think it is, on the left, sitting against the barriers in a chair. And so the medical team just checking him over. Rob Huff gives the thumbs up to say he's fine, but the car will need to be recovered. So Jean-Karl Venet, despite getting squeezed from both sides, made it through that incident, and so is able to retake his position on the grid alongside Matto Homola for the restart. As the recovery vehicles arrive, and it's going to take quite a few minutes to pick up and remove 5 cars, I think, that I can see, because on the right-hand side of the screen is Altoe's Volkswagen, Huff's car is behind it, and Paulsen's car is behind that. There is Stian Paulsen, putting a brave face on things as he walks back. Engstler's car is relatively easy to recover, parked as it is, or as it was, on the entry to turn 1. There is Luca. Commiserations from the team. His dad, Franz, in the background, just walking towards camera now. And being asked in qualifying yesterday by Alfredo whether his career had come to an end as a driver because he's team manager, also the promoter of TCR Germany. And he said, not really, I'd like to do an endurance race with my son. But that's the reality, sadly, of motorsport. It goes from hero to zero in a few seconds. So once again then, watch Vernet as Nash comes round to the left of Vernet's car and bumps Vernet before taking out Altoe. Tassi just squeezes through. There is Paulsen that I hadn't seen first time through. But Hommler appeared not to make a fantastic start, but it was enough. Colciago could clearly see a gap and went for it, only to find Vernet moving into that gap, having been squeezed by Nash on the other side. There's Altoe, no fault of his own, because he was a passenger at that point, picking up Huff and Paulsen in the background. So 2 of the 3 Lukoil Craft Bamboo cars out within meters of the race starting. Their other car, that of Dan Lloyd, up into 3rd. Unsurprisingly, the race director has put up on the timing screen that the start incident is under investigation. So whether any action will be taken, we will see. Nash's car pushed back by the team through the gap in the barriers you see at the back there. Right, let's get the views of one of those drivers involved in the incident. Rob Huff is talking to Alfredo Filippone.
Rob Huff, a very dramatic start.
Well, it wasn't for me, but it seemed there was some pinball machine in front. I didn't see what happened. I just saw a lot of cars going in a lot of different directions that they shouldn't have been going. I managed to avoid everyone, and then the other Golf was coming across the track in front of me with the broken suspension. So I almost stopped to turn to the right of it, and then Stein just hit me at 100 and whatever kilometers an hour from behind and put me straight into him. And now we have a safety car just reversed into a race car, which is always clever. Yeah, just a disaster really, but it's silly. Everyone's got to make it through the first corner, but it seems no one wanted to then.
Okay, thank you.
Interesting. Pinball, says Rob. And so he'd obviously seen Altoe's car coming across the track towards him, and he'd slowed, leaving Stian Paulsen nowhere to go. Let's look behind then to see how Rob described that. So there is Altoe spinning. There's Rob hard on the brakes, and then just cutting away from it as we got to the incident. So there's Altoe, there's Rob, and then again another sandwich. He's got Altoe coming in from one direction, he's got Paulsen coming in from behind. As there you see Paulsen's car. We saw Roberto Colciago's Honda being lifted onto a flatbed. Now then, Luca Engstler pulled up. Let's see what happened to him. He's with Alfredo.
Luca Engstler, not a lucky day for you, but how happened?
Yeah, I had a good start, gained 2 positions, and then I saw the crash in front of me. I went on the brake, and everywhere have been cars. Then one car came from the outside, and Rob crashed into it, and I crashed into Rob because I had no chance. I got a kick from the back, and then, yeah, the race was over.
And in race one, of course, you had a technical problem, so not a very lucky day, yeah?
No, 2 times bad luck, but yeah, we take the positive. I had a good speed. I had a good speed in qualifying, in the free practice, also in the first race. And yeah, we will see. Keep pushing.
Thank you.
That's an old head on young shoulders, as they say. That's very much following in father's footsteps. Luca Engstler, I think we'll see a lot more of as the years go on. Luca Engstler making his TCR debut earlier in the year in TCR Middle East. And then TCR Germany is his campaign this year, but making his TCR International debut at his home race. That's a mess on Huff's car. So I think an awful lot of drivers completely innocent, bystanders almost in that incident. I think the luckiest was probably Jean-Karl, who got squeezed from both sides by Roberto Colciago from one side, James Nash on the other, and he managed to get through unscathed. There he is on the front row of the grid, so he can retake the start. Rob Huff certainly can't with that damage, nor can 2 of the 3 Lukoil Craft Bamboo cars. Dan Lloyd is the only one of the 3 to make the restart. So the gap's not closed up. Right, there's Pepe Oriola's car. Let's hear from the man himself as to what he thought happened. Pepe is talking to Alfredo.
Pepe Oriola, nothing you could do on this start.
No, obviously I tried to avoid the contact with Colciago, but he was coming backwards, and when you see a crash like this, you can never predict if the car is going to keep going to the front or backwards, and he came backwards, and it was too late to avoid him. I tried, but obviously I was going too fast, and I crashed into him, so nothing to do. Now let's see if the car is repairable for Thailand, because it was supposed to go on the containers on Wednesday. So let's see how we do it for the rest of the season, and let's see how the team manages to repair the car on time till the containers leave to Asia.
Not a very lucky day on your birthday day.
Yeah, apparently the stewards or the race director didn't look at the footage as I did, because obviously that corner where I push Van Lagen is flat out, and I even broke my radiator, so it means that the differential of the speed was quite high. So it means that he broke it on purpose to slow me down, and they just saw that it was me trying to push him out. So they took this decision. They are the stewards, but we have to make this championship a little bit more professional. Otherwise, we won't grow as fast as we are growing altogether.
Okay. Anyway, have a good party tonight, in any case.
I hope so. Thank you.
I think Pepe will be drinking to forget this evening. That's an interesting comment, actually. The cars due to leave for the final 3 races, the Middle East and then the Far East leg of TCR International. Right, let's talk to the team manager of Mira Racing, Norbert Mikelic, on his thoughts of that incident.
Norbert Mikelic, first of all, what news you have about Roberto Colciago?
Roberto is now in the medical center. So he said that he feels a bit dizzy. The impact was quite big. We just hope that he is all right. That's, of course, our biggest worry. Also, there is some damage on the car, but now all our worries are with Roberto. I honestly hope that he comes back, or he can come back with a smile.
And as a driver yourself, of course, you know that these things can happen.
Yeah, I mean, we had many nice moments so far in the season. We expected to have a difficult race here in Oschersleben. It was a bit of bad luck now in the second race, because the cars have to be shipped. You have to prepare for that, and now I did not see the car, but it looked quite bad. I mean, the damage. So we have to prepare a plan to rebuild or to repair this car because it will be tight for the next race.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. Bye.
Thanks, Norby. And just looking down at the list I have of the start grid for race 2, and Dan Lloyd, so Huff is out. So a big gap from the front row of Hommler and Vernet back to Dan Lloyd, who qualified 8th. And you can see there at the top of your screen as we see once again the carnage caused at the start from several angles. And it's a big thump from Colciago into the wall. Then he's straight across and into the Seat. Then he's hit again and just runs off the track to the side. But if we can talk to Roberto Colciago and see how injured he in fact is.
So this is the best news we have at the moment. Roberto is with us, and you look fine, all right, huh?
Yeah, just when I have the crash, I have some pain, but now it's much better.
How did it happen?
I don't know, somebody touched me on the rear because I was passing Omola on the start, and that will happen. It make me spin on the straight, and after they crash on me.
Bad weekend.
Yeah, but you know, if there is a bad weekend, yes, not to be with the accident that maybe somebody want to do, because this is not sport for me.
The car, have you?
I don't know. I have a really bad impact.
Okay. Well, thank you. All the best.
Thanks, Alfredo. Maybe Stian can tell us exactly what happened. Stian Paulsen is with Alfredo down in the pits.
Stian, what happened? You were at the back, so you saw everything.
Yeah, I saw it and I felt it. Now I start from P12, so I was in the middle of the accident there, and I was braking down, and I thought actually I was avoiding the other guys, but then suddenly Rob Huff was in front of me, and I had no chance to brake down, so I hit him quite hard. So that means it's over for us today for sure.
And race 1 was also quite disappointing.
Race 1 was quite okay. I felt I had a good speed, but I could not pass other drivers there. So yeah, it was okay. But in the end, I got black flag because of track limits. But this is how it is.
The pace was good.
The pace was good, and this is the most important for me here in the championship, because I'm here with my friends and I'm doing everything alone against all big teams. And it's really difficult. So for me, the main thing is to show that I have the pace, because the consistency and to win the races and or be in the top all the time, when I do it alone, everything, this is no chance. So I just have to try to be fast as possible every time I'm out there to show that I have the speed. And the speed was there in the first race, so that was good.
Well done. Thank you.
You'll recall that Stian was right up alongside the scrap that we were following for much of race 1. Another gentleman involved in that incident. Alfredo is talking to James Nash now.
James Nash, tell us how it was from your perspective.
I made a good launch. I went to go for the outside of Jean-Karl Vernet. Realised Colciago was closing that gap off quite quickly, so I went to the other side of Vernet, where there was a nice gap. Carried on, just used the speed that I had from my launch. All of a sudden I got a big hit from behind, so the rear quarter, which sent me across the track. I've just re-watched the video, and it's quite clear that Colciago just keeps moving across onto Vernet. I don't know where he wanted everybody to go, but I place full blame on Rob Colciago for that accident.
He said he was pushed, so but we'll check all the images. Thank you.
That's interesting. Two different takes on the incident.